Hi everyone, I'm Juan. Welcome to Last Minute Shopping Valentine's Day edition. In this series, I plan on taking 5 similar items and then comparing them, reviewing them, and finally ranking them to pick a winner. To do that, I'll be scoring them in a couple of relevant factors, but nothing too crazy. My main goal is to get you a nice, quick, and easy result. In this episode, I'll be tackling the chocolate that comes in these heart-shaped containers every Valentine's Day. There are most major retailers, and there's always 5 or 6 different brands that all kind of look similar enough. But you don't really know which one's better. I know I've personally had that problem. I don't know which one to get my girlfriend, and I kind of pick one at random at the end. So in this episode, I want to kind of take all the brands that I saw at Myers for this for this video and compare them and see if there's any difference at all, or if one does come out better than the other. So without further ado, let me show you what chocolate I got. Alright, so here we have the 5 different brands of chocolate in these heart-shaped containers. The first one we have up to bat is this Hershey's Pot of Gold. And here's how the chocolate looks like inside there. Pretty standard, pretty standard. We have the Lindt Classic Assorted Chocolates. Here's how that looks like inside there. We have Russell Steven. Bam, there's that chocolate. I'll say in a second. This is actually Elmer's chocolate. Proof is right there if you don't believe me. Bam. And lastly, I have Whitman Sampler, or Whitman Sampler. And that's how that looks like right there. Now these all look pretty standard, you know. Just right off the bat, I couldn't really tell you which one looks best. So my plan is kind of to judge them all individually. So we'll see which packaging here has the best individual piece of chocolate. And then I'll give you a composite score, which one had the overall best package. Okay, so I decided to score these heart-shaped containers in 2 categories. 1, how chocolatey it is, and 2, how good it is. I'm going to be scoring them out of 5. I decided to do how chocolatey it is as a factor because chocolate and flour is kind of the classic staple during Valentine's Days. So I figured, you know, how chocolatey it is should play a part. My overall ranking, though, will be dependent on how good it is, because something can be really chocolatey, but still be really bad. With that in mind, bringing in the rear, it's going to be the Russell Steven brand of chocolates. It got a 1.58 in how chocolatey it is, and 1.67 in how good it is. So a little bit of a difference there. I'm kind of disappointed. I had high hopes for it. As you can see, this has a rose right here in the container. Looks a little bit classy. However, the piece with caramel and nuts in it, it seemed to overload the candy, and it kind of just not taste pleasant on the mouth. We had someone actually spit one of these pieces out. They described it as sweat. When pressed for more details, he just said, I don't know, it kind of just tastes sweaty. I don't know how to describe it, which sounds a little bit nasty. And they had another one that tasted like medicine. And I got a score out of 0 of 0 in both categories, which is really bad, but I guess it just had a real strong like cherry medicine flavor. And that's never good when you're eating candy. So, unfortunately, Russell Steven, you're in last place. Next up is the Whitman brand of chocolate. Now this box had like 13 different flavors in it, so we didn't try a lot of them. But the ones we did try, we tried to make sure they were comparable to the other flavors we did try, in the name of good science and good testing. Unfortunately, I didn't really relate to the scores. They got 2.25 on the chocolatey scale and a 2 out of 5 on the overall good scale. It seems like the regular chocolate-based Whitman candy, regular-based Whitman chocolate, was pretty decent. The highest score I got was a 4.5. Unfortunately, it seems like the ones with like caramel and nuts in it, when you try to get, you know, a little bit different with it, those ranked pretty poorly. We had a 0 out of 0 one that just tasted really salty and really nasty to the tester. And they had a caramel one that did a 1 out of 1 that just they said it was overloaded with cheap caramel. So it seems like when they stuck to chocolate, they did pretty good. But when they kind of varied from that, it got pretty ugly. So 4th place, the Whitman brand of chocolate. So next up in 3rd place, the Elmer's brand chocolate. It had 1.67 on the chocolatey scale and a 2.25 on the overall scale. This one did pretty decent overall. They did have one that had 0 on the chocolatey scale and 0 on the good scale. The tester said it tasted like chapstick. It tasted like it expired. So that was a really low score and it really dragged it down. And it also had a 1-in-1 on the caramel. That seems to be a running theme with these candies. It's the caramel inside just isn't that great. It doesn't taste too, like, pleasing on the tongue. Besides that, it did pretty decent on all the other ones. It was pretty mediocre all around. So I guess this is kind of be the average, basic candy to go to. So third place, Elmer's. Alright, we're getting to the heavyweights now. In the second place, we have the Lindt chocolate. It actually had the highest chocolatey overall rating at 3.75. Its overall rating on how good it is, though, is 2.92, so a pretty big discrepancy. For a lot of these, they have like a chocolate filling, so people get like a real intense chocolatey taste after the fact. However, it doesn't necessarily translate to how good it is. People say it was definitely chocolatey, but it kind of tastes like Advent chocolate, so I thought that to be a pretty fun comment. And this also didn't really have a low score. I mean, I think 2 was about as low as it got, so overall it was a pretty strong performer, and you wouldn't go wrong with going with this brand. And lastly, we have our champion, the Hershey's Pot of Gold heart-shaped container. Not gonna lie, going into this, I thought it'd get 3rd or 4th place. I thought it would be a pretty, average one. I definitely see the other brands way more often around Valentine's Day. And definitely thought that'd play a part in seeing Hershey's not get the top spot. Saying that, the overall good score that Hershey's got was a 3.75. And it got second in the chocolatey scale, though. It got 3.41. However, it was the only one that got a score over 3 on both. And it actually had the highest rated candy in there. They had the only 5 and 5. They had like a milk chocolate truffle in there that our tester really, really enjoyed. So going back on my expectation, I guess it kind of did how I thought it would. I didn't think it'd get anything higher than the 4. I thought it'd be a pretty average 3 and 3. However, what I didn't expect was for the other ones to kind of rate so lowly. I know they weren't the best. I mean, I've tried them myself personally before. I never really liked them. But having people blind taste them and then blind tasting them myself, I really saw that they're really not that great. I mean, Hershey's did about as good as I expected, and I guess I just wasn't expecting all the other ones to go so low. So even though Hershey's was my champion, and I did say I'd recommend a champion, I actually feel like it'd be much better if you go to the store, like the Dollar Tree or whatever, or I don't know, whatever retailer, and you get like a heart-shaped box. They're usually pretty cheap. I mean, I can't imagine it being more than a couple of bucks. And then just stuffing it with the favorite candy of whoever you're gifting it to. And I expect it to be a much more enjoyable experience than this kind of random lottery of heart-shaped containers. A lot of them had really bad pieces in there, so if you get this to someone, they will probably only end up eating like half of it and tossing the rest. So you should save yourself the money. Well, I mean, I guess when we save your money, but you should make yourself look better. Make it look like you put some thought in there. Buy this heart-shaped container, fill their favorite candy, and be like, here, I was thinking of you, I got your favorite candy, and you're going to enjoy 100% of this. And that's just my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. I know I really didn't have people testing it out on camera, but I just wanted to expedite it as soon as possible, and maybe I will have the testing on camera next time. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support, and have a good day.